I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at the full moon, predictions and energy readings. Now, this full moon that is going to be happening on October 1st is the harvest full moon, which will be very bright and beautiful to look at. So definitely take an opportunity to step outside, enjoy it, soak in those beautiful rays, get that beautiful energy going on, make a wish, if you will. Now, as you can see, we have 4 groups in front of us. Group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you a moment for you to pick the group that you resonate with most. Now that you have, you can go down to the description where you can go to your designated group with its marked timestamp, and we're going to get ready with group number 1. Group number 1, let's look at your full moon, harvest moon, predictions and energy reading by looking at the cards. Your oracle card is the Earth Keeper and full moon in Pisces, which keep in mind this full moon will not be in Pisces. It's more of the meaning. We have 8 of Cups in reverse, Knight of Pentacles upright, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles upright, and the 3 of Cups upright. Okay, give me a moment to look at everything. I can already hear my spirit guide telling me some stuff, so just give me one moment to listen to everything. Okay, so this is going to be a super proactive time period for you. A very, how do I put this? You're like, okay, I've got some dreams. I'm going to finally realize that I need to stop talking about it, and I'm making some stuff happen around this time period, as well as some realizations, which I cannot say that word without thinking of that meme that popped up a couple years ago, if you know what I'm talking about. If you do, please leave it in the comments below. Anyway, going forward though, I'm going to start here with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. It appears through my spirit guide, they said that there is something that you need to do now that would be an investment in yourself that would have long-term positive effects that you're not making. There's something you need to start doing and make this choice and acting upon it, and you're kind of pulling back. You're sort of resisting a little bit or haven't made the choice to move forward. We actually have 2 separate reasons I can see over here and here as to, actually, I'd say 3 main ones that are popping up that are the cause of it. And we're going to be talking about how you can change that and where you kind of more want to put your attention and energy. So first, let's start with the Earth Keeper. The Earth Keeper Oracle card represents when somebody's kind of grown too big for something. This could be either a smaller dream you have, or maybe your current lifestyle is too small and you're meant to seek out and reach out and expand in order to grow. But you're going to expand through things like, this could be anything from cleaning your house to reaching out to an old friend you haven't spoken to a while. Maybe asking yourself, is there a new, career opportunity you should look into and try to take the chance in interviewing and getting, and that type of thing. So it's very proactive, it's expansive by choice, and it's just the awareness that it's no longer good enough what you're doing now for yourself, and you're meant to grow. So it's like a very positive statement. There's nothing critical behind this. If there's the slightest feeling of like, am I getting lectured? No. It's like, you've mastered level 1, we're ready for level 6. Anyways, this idea gets continued over here in the full moon in Pisces. Now, this represents somebody who is a dreamer. They've got dreams. It's quite romantic. But here's the thing. This card basically is a call-out card that essentially says, hey, now is the time to realize that your dreaming isn't getting you closer to the dream, and to actually start putting in practical applications alongside the dream. So it's like, on one hand, you're realizing that you can't talk about it anymore. It's time to take action, make the choices you need to make in order to work towards this investment you should be making towards yourself. Let me just ask real quickly, are they aware of this investment they need to make for themselves? Yeah, I'm getting a solid yes. Okay, so this is something you would be self-aware of. I was just seeing if I needed to pull some more cards. Anyway, So the full moon in Pisces says, don't stop being a dreamer. That's what motivated you to have it. That's going to keep you inspired as you move along in your journey. It's going to keep you pumped up when maybe you've worked too much towards this dream. You're starting to get burnt out or whatever may have it. But realizing that you do need that balance between, okay, I've talked about enough. I'm only allowing myself 10 minutes of dreaming right now, and I'm going to go work for an hour. Find a balance within having the two propel and work together to get you closer where you want to go. Now, here are where some of the worries come in. Not worries that you need to worry about, but rather concerns that are sort of blocking you, preventing you, keeping you wanting to enjoy the instant gratification of dreaming compared to the actual moving towards the investment. So over here in the Knight of Pentacles, I can see there is a concern of, what if it takes a long time? You're very time-oriented about this situation. There's the concern of, like, is it worth it? Do I have enough time? Maybe you feel that, because sometimes in life there is a societal pressure to believe that you can only do certain things at a certain time. So, like, some people are like, oh, I didn't go to college, at 18. Does that mean it would be too late for me if I was like 35? And it's like, no, not at all. There's no time restraint. But whatever that may be, there is a worry of, is it the right time? What if it takes a while? Will that mess up with other attributes in my life? And here's the thing. My spirit guide says that you need to actually readjust your thinking every time this thought process pops up. And instead say to yourself, this is for the greater good for myself. Period. Well, what if it takes a while? It is the greater good for myself. I don't need to even justify and comfort myself by saying, well, because it's for the greater good, it's okay if it takes a couple years. No. Just diminish that thought immediately and only focus on the idea of how much it's going to be uplifting to you. And this is a really positive sign, by the way, when I see this popping up. This is a huge confirmation card of, it's kind of a lot of, like, I would see, how do I say this? Sometimes I get full-on confirmation cards that are like, oh, yes, this is your destiny, this is your life. When I get a Knight that's more of a subtext that that's the direction you're heading into, it's got this sort of potential feeling building up. This sense of like, ooh, we're not going to talk about the ending quite yet, but you're going to be really pumped with all this energy that's building up. So I'm very excited for you. I'm excited for this. It seems that this investment is an especially good idea, essentially. It's going to have very positive effects in the long term you're going to be pumped about. But so you're going to be focused on how much it's going to be benefiting you. And we're talking like in a big way, not just that it makes you happy, but it could be anything from financial to this positivity that you feel in your emotional mindset has changed the way you do your daily routine, which this has then enabled you to improve into a totally different person than you were before, whether you're more athletic or more compassionate, or, these are just different, I'm just giving different examples. You don't have to become these things, but you get what I'm saying. Now, the reason why my spirit guide says this is if you stop thinking of it and worrying about if it's quick or slow and more focus your attention on this, you will be surprised that it will happen a lot faster than you were previously worried. But if you keep focusing on the idea of time at all, even the comfort that it could be possibly faster, you're missing the point, and then that fear of the time and even the time being affected by that fear will kind of be the main thing that pops up. So just keep diminishing that idea of time at all. Focus only on the idea that this is great for you, especially in the long term. 2 long-term confirmation cards, which is great. Anyway, now this idea is really interesting with what's going on over here. So this might be a little like, what? So over here in the 8 of Cups in reverse paired with the 3 of Cups upright, I'm being told by my spirit guide that there's a bit of a friendship situation going on that you need to be aware of. It appears that a group of friends, wait, can this be romantic at all? My spirit guide is saying very small proportion. It would mostly be friendship oriented, but it could be romantic. So it's a social situation, essentially. You're having a great time. It's fun. You hang out with them often. They're the main people you associate with. But the issue here is they are causing what's going on in the 8 of Cups in reverse. This is when you are working towards something consciously and proactively. It's a very dreamy type of card, and we know that dreamy type of mindset that's popping up over here and here. But Unfortunately, it's a lot of restarting over in the dreaming and not really moving anywhere, moving in circles. It's a card with a lot of intention without momentum, unfortunately. And this is due to how much this is a sort of distraction in your life. So my spirit guide says, like, don't ditch your friends. Like, it's not about leaving them forever, but realizing this is sort of falsely, it's basically the way it was described is like it's falsely amping you up and falsely inspiring you into thinking, yeah, every time I talk to them and talk about what I want to do or talk about things that get us excited, I feel like I'm moving forward because it's an exciting and passionate and romantic idea. But in reality, these ideas never go past the dreaming stage, and I keep being kind of pulled back into the idea of dreaming itself, building a new dream, never working towards it, keep building back. So you're more kind of caught in a cycle where nothing's ever building upon it, and you're ready to build upon it. You're meant to, you're being asked to during this time period. So again, it's not about ditching them or leaving them forever. It's about putting them a little more on the back burner and putting yourself and your dreams more at the forefront of your situation. And then the last one I want to talk about is over here in the Ace of Pentacles. I asked if this was sort of like a guarantee that you will then receive the thing that you want, essentially. And they said it is the idea with the Ace of Pentacles, when we talk about like new opportunities and receiving them, is that you're waiting for something to be handed to you, but you actually need to be the one to cultivate it. And it's about seriously taking ownership and asking yourself, how will you cultivate this opportunity investment for yourself? How will you make it come into fruition? You have to face it, ask it, and then work towards it. So over this full moon, you're going to have a great time. Yes, you're going to have a good time with friends, but you're going to start kind of digging into being like, it is pretty exciting about also seeing my dreams come into fruition, but also building up a new ability to be okay with. Sometimes when we're dreaming, it's instantaneous, but it is also fun to see long-term things come into existence as well. Even if sometimes it can be like a lack of inspiration along the way of the daily humdrum of working towards it, but you will build up an excitement for that ability, but it is an ability that has to be built through practice and habitual habit. So you're going to be starting that. So definitely take the inspiration of cultivating it and finding what you need to do. But we talked about the clearing out and cleansing, making a list, how you're working towards it, and then actively send out emails. Purchase what you need to purchase supply-wise to make it all happen. And maybe let your friends know you'll talk back, you'll call them back in a couple days. You need to get some things sorted. So I'm very excited for you in such a proactive yet still dreamy mindset moving forward. It's going to be a fun time period. Anyways, I am wishing you the best. Please let me know in the comments below, what is the particular investment you're working towards? I would love to know. Consider also giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. And I will see you in the next one. Let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's look at those full moon predictions and energy reading by looking at the cards. Our oracle cards are Earth and full moon Aquarius. So funny on the full moon, except this full moon is not going to be in Aquarius, but we're just going to be talking about the meaning of the cards. We have King of Pentacles in reverse, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Pentacles in upright, and 3 of Swords. I am immediately being pulled here. I'm already seeing some stuff unfold, yeah. Hold on, my spirit guide's telling me something. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, so I'm gonna be hopping around a little bit, but listen to the whole thing because it's all gonna come together. It's beautiful. So, first things first, I am so sorry for what's going on over here in the 3 of Swords. I am being told for a portion of you, it is a romantic case that is just currently very painful. It's romantic associated. I'm not getting clear answers of like if it's cheating. Often people describe this card as that. It's big betrayal nonetheless, and it's causing you a lot of heartache and pain right now, but it could be the same kind of heartache and pain where you're waiting for someone to kind of get back to you and change or be clear about how they feel about you or something. But it can be romantic. But in general, it is pain of the utmost intensity, because in many other cases, it's just something that's happened to you was awful, and it's still deeply bothering you. It would be a big event that kind of happened. So I don't want to go on to it too long because I don't want to upset anybody. But the point is, this sort of, as you can see where the rain is following, this intensity is being brought over and kind of clouding what's going on in the Seven of Pentacles. It's not enabling you to enjoy this time period and what you should be getting out of this time period. So it's making things rough. So what is going on in this time period? When we have a Seven of Pentacles card, this is when you're working on something kind of day by day. You're waiting to receive some sort of reward from the universe, from your partner, something that lets you know that the work you've been doing is the right thing. And there's just nothing. And so it just feels like you're working towards something without a clear indication that you are actually, in fact, doing the right thing by receiving some sort of reward. Again, this could be the reward of a romantic partner letting you know, like, boo, I want to be with you. Let's take this to the next level. Yep, I feel the same. This could be a boss being like, hey, I'm thinking of promoting you. You're the one. We really like what you're doing. That kind of thing. You get what I'm saying. But when it's a Seven of Pentacles situation, it's actually very positive. It's implying when it's upright that you're actually doing great. It is working out well. You are headed towards, if you keep doing the same thing you've been doing, which implies what you've been doing, it has been the right thing, and you need to keep doing it, don't change anything, you will get there. Not at this very moment, but you will get there. And even though there has been no accolades, that doesn't mean you won't receive them, after a period of time. It's not Seven of Pentacles isn't a super long time period, but it's not going to be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So when we have this situation, it's a lot of waiting around. It's a lot of, it's meant to be a meditative time period. So you might say, well, why did they receive their rewards quicker than me and I'm taking forever? Am I doing something wrong? No, the sort of life lesson you're learning around this time period is to enjoy the day-to-day, get really good at your job, be able to kind of detach from the end point of success. Doesn't mean you can't still have it, but sort of putting it out of your mind. Learn to be a more meditative, present person and enjoy and cultivate confidence within yourself without having to receive accolades. Again, doesn't mean you're not going to receive them, you're going to, but if you can kind of get out of that mindset you need it from somebody else, it's like the second you don't want it and you're like, I'm good, I already believe in myself, that's when you receive it. You know what I mean? It's that sort of if I'm using the term correctly, catch-22. But with this sort of heartache that's being brought upon to yourself, it doesn't feel meditative. You'd like to be distracted from this difficult emotional state that you're in by receiving accolades, which is only causing you to look even more into wanting it and thinking about it and starting to doubt yourself and what you're currently doing and working towards. Again, this can be anything from self-improvement, career, financial, whatever that may be. Over here, though, let me see, wait, how do I want to read these cards? Oh, okay, then, but here's where it's important. These three cards then associate with these oracle cards and kind of all beautifully come together. So it appears in the Ten of Pentacles, this is happening due to who the person of the King of Pentacles is. The King of Pentacles in reverse is somebody, and I have a feeling these two are the same, who's more concerned with their self-image and self-worth and defining it by, interestingly enough, you might have picked up their energy. Often we can, if we're empathic, we can often pick up other people's energies and get confused, think it's our own, and kind of work out other people's problems for them, unintentionally, even though that's their problem, that's their issue. You can't vibrate for them. You can't solve their karma for them. Everybody has to take care of their own. But either way, this person kind of defines themselves. It could be anything from defining their worth from how much money they make and how much they care about it and how good they are at their job. They want to look cool. They want to seem cool. Whatever it may be, this is what's then causing them to sort of detriment the potential long-term sort of bond between the two of you, it feels like. So this is the confirmation that this is how my spirit guide's describing it, is there is a potential for the two of you to sort of feel in the long haul together. So this sort of has a romantic connotation for me. but they are on purpose sabotaging it. This could be anything from spending too much money that should, it's kind of wasting away the money and causing tension between the two of you, to maybe they're spending their energy to and emotions somewhere else and sort of hurting you and not getting back to you in time. And so you're just kind of concerned of like where this relationship's going and that type of thing. Either way, they are knowingly doing that due to their own insecurities, as we've just discussed here. And they're kind of ruining what we talked about could potentially be a long-term situation. So what do you do in this situation? Well, we have two answers going on here that will actually tie back into you receiving in a quicker notion, in a more comfortable way, these sort of rewards or accolades you're looking for from here, here, and here. So in the full moon Aquarius, this asks you to look into becoming more detached. This card could go either way. So in some cases, it implies if you are detached, you need to get more attached, more attuned. But in the scenario that I'm seeing here, this has more of a heavier flow of, you know what? If they aren't ready to step up to the plate and let you know how they feel, it's time for you to detach a little bit emotionally and focus your attention elsewhere, because it's not the right time. You're too emotionally invested and you're not going to receive it back. So now is a good time to sort of pull back from that situation and put it somewhere else. And in general, maybe, I don't want to say not take things seriously, because I feel that undervalues what you're currently going through, and your feelings and opinions on this matter are valid and warranted. But you just kind of want to be like, you know what? This is not my problem right now. I'm going to go do something else. I'm just going to relax, take life in general not as seriously, and pull back a little bit. And then we have the Earth card. And this is where it's sort of in you detaching from this and focusing more on what we discussed over here in combination. This is when we got kind of a pull in with what's going on with the Earth card. So the Earth card means two separate things specifically. On one hand, it talks about the idea of when you are showing humility and kindness and love, very much like the Earth in itself gives to its little nature babies, rocks, plants, and stuff like that, and in general us, because we benefit from the Earth. You then receive, like, she receives her own kind of presence back. It's like she acts humility. How do I put this? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ramble. The idea is this card says natural gifts are going to be coming your way. You're going to be getting presents. You're going to be getting rewards, like we talked about over here. And the more you're kind of on the vibration and radar, like the Earth, the more you will get these gifts in return. Now, natural gifts is kind of vague and abstract. So it could be kindness you're getting, but maybe that kindness involves money. It's pretty open-ended we got here, but I'm going to be honest with you, with so many pentacles, I think money is definitely in this department going on. But it's taking on this act of being like, okay, I'm giving, because of course I can give. That means I'm abundant. You then receive more abundance because that's what's coming your way and you're on the same vibration. And so you're able to receive what's naturally coming towards you. And that's what we're going to get expanding on over here in the Six of Pentacles. But before I get into that, the other meaning of the Earth Oracle card is around the idea of self-care. Now is the time to take care of yourself. How can you take care of yourself? Is it anything from how your body functions? Are you doing the best things you could do for it? Are you giving it a spa day? Are you giving it a chance to relax and, rubbing out any of those tight muscles in your legs and feet and stuff like that? But also self-care can be about detaching from a situation that is not currently serving you and giving yourself a break in order to appreciate what's going on around you and enjoy the natural gifts like we talked about. Because being really happy and meditative in your day-to-day practice at things like work and stuff like that, and while you're waiting and appreciating what you're kind of like registering that what you're doing is the right thing already, is in itself a natural gift. But with the Earth card and what my spirit guide's telling me, you're going to be getting more gifts than that. But anyways, now this goes back to the Six of Pentacles. So it appears that you are capable of, and you should try to offer literal gifts to other people during this full moon occasion. This could be anything from treating maybe a coworker that's been nice to you. Maybe it doesn't have to be a best friend. It can can be a close friend, but it can be like a coworker that's nice to you and you're kind of on nice rapport and you just kind of treat them and you get them a little croissant or something fun. Or maybe you give some stray kittens some food. That would be a very nice gift to give. Or you donate a little bit of money. Right now is a great time for a lot of people in situations especially needed around this time. Throw a couple bucks, whatever you can, and by realizing and getting into the state of humility and being really open and grateful about life and realizing, it is awesome and I do have something I can give the world. Not only is this an enjoyable act and a form of self-care for you, and that's really just going to like raise your vibrations and make you feel great during this time period, but by saying to the world, you know what? I already have something to give. I'm not waiting for a reward. I have the rewards. I am rewarding, and I have enough that I'm able to give to others. You're putting yourself on that frequency that tells the universe, okay, I've been doing the right thing. I am abundant, and I'm able to receive even more abundant because abundance by nature is infinite. So we love that. I love that so much. I think that's going to do a lot to help, at least at the minimum, as a distraction. You're going to have a greater time dealing with this thing that you're investing in. I feel like it's so work-oriented too. I think there is a good chance that it is you waiting to hear what this other person has to say, but I'm just getting more of a kind of a sandwich of that mixed with you working towards your goals, and you're just like, oh, it'd be really nice if, I moved a little further along in my career and know that I'm getting noticed for what I'm doing. And so I'm really excited to say that is around the corner, and just be aware of this when you feel frustrated that they're not, don't let it frustrate you that there could be a potential for more of a long term. This isn't saying you guys are going to break up or it's over. It's just saying right now, if that's how they want to act and they want to consciously sabotage something and you're already doing the right thing, there's nothing else you can really do at this moment. Now is the time to pull back, and that could be the very thing that kind of flips them out of this mindset and realize, oh, what am I doing? I want to be with the person I care about. So anyways, get excited, get ready to give, receive, all that good stuff during this full moon. Please let me know in the comments below what's a really cute little fun gift or generous way you're going to give back to the ones around you. Again, it does not have to be very financially expensive, as we discussed before, and it can be an array of things. Please let me know in the comments below. I would really love to know. And consider also giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. I am wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3, let's look at the full moon predictions and energy reading by looking at the cards. Your oracle cards are Eagle and first quarter moon. And then our other cards are Ace of Wands in reverse. Oh wow, I'm dramatically pulled to these two. Ace of Wands in reverse. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse. Oh, but King of Cups upright. And you got Eagle. Wow. I'm going to just check in with my spirit guides in case there's anything else I'm missing. So just give me one moment. Okay, so I want you to listen to this whole thing, because initially you're going to be like, wait, what? But it's got a really good ending. And we want to be prepared for these things so they don't feel difficult when they occur. So first off, we're going to be talking about what's going on over like here and how it relates to over here. So the first quarter moon oracle card talks about the idea that there is going to be a bit of a hurdle or a challenge you're going to have to overcome at this time. Now, that is some pretty spooky terminology, and I don't like to leave it like that. I want your brain to keep from wandering too far and thinking it's so difficult. Keep in mind, a hurdle when it comes to the first quarter moon oracle card can relate to something like have you dreamed of something, and as you're dreaming it, do you already give up on it? That would be a hurdle. That would be something you need to overcome, but isn't a big deal. Or maybe someone puts you in a position where you feel like you have to listen to them and, come to the party they ask you to go to, or whatever this social event is, and you just feel like, I don't want to deal with this. I shouldn't have to deal with this. And so it feels like this hurdle you have to deal with. But the empowerment behind this card, and I have nothing but positive, empowering things to say that will continue on past all of this stuff. So I'm excited. I just want to be prepared for you to be prepared that it's going to get better. Is the idea that if you believe you can do it, then you can do it. This is a card of you being tested by the universe. We are never tested to be punished. We learn and grow and evolve. That is why we signed up to be here. That's what we're doing. That's why we're constantly evolving. And sometimes we are unaware of how we need to evolve in a certain situation. So one of the ways we can receive this lesson learning is by basically the universe being like, let me help you out and give you a little tester-rooney. And you basically can pop up and go, I see you test and I will live up to it. Because being able to see the hurdle and understand the life lesson will make the situation be resolved faster. The more you resist it, the more fearful you are, the more you go, I don't want to deal with this. Well, it's just going to kind of be more of an issue and feel more intense to go through and maybe even be prolonged. So the quicker you're aware of being like, you know what, maybe they're asking me to go to that social event. Have I ever thought that I have my own voice and I don't want to? No. Even if you have to deal with the initial response of the other person, realizing that you have your own voice and that the kind of repercussions of being, maybe they're like, I'm mad at you for this. Is that going to be that long? It's not a big deal and you'll be okay at the end of it. Then, it's you can see how quick it is to overcome this issue. Or if you see something's popping up and you realize maybe an ex was contacting you and you don't want to talk to them. Being able to realize, I just don't have to answer them and I can stop the cycle of keep seeing the same kind of person over and over again. Then there you go, the lessons learned. See how quick that was? You didn't have to deal with any drama at all. So just always consider that in general when we deal with hurdles in life, but understand that this hurdle and challenge is a beneficial thing and doesn't mean it's a big deal thing. It's not as dramatic as, it's sounding. Going on to that though, the main hurdle I see popping up is what's going on in these series of influencing events. So with the Ace of Cups in reverse, this can be anything from feeling closed off, unable to express yourself. Maybe you're just not really in tune with your emotions. Maybe your emotions are out of whack and you just feel like when something upsets you, it deeply upsets you and you're unable to see the bigger picture and you just get lost in your emotions and it's kind of a little bit, you don't feel like you're the one in control, so to speak. Whatever may be happening in that department in that kind of way is influencing and preventing the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is being described as, and I saw this and then my spirit guide confirmed this represents the idea of you not stepping into a new energy flow during this time period that you're supposed to be stepping in. And I want to be very clear about the concept of an energy wave and energy flow. So, when we have emotions, these emotions respond to what we pick up energy-wise. In fact, emotions are not separate from energy, but are a reaction to energy. Most people aren't aware of that. And the more you're aware of that and how you can see how much energy influences our mind, like in the swords we talk about if you're familiar with tarot intensely with the different elements and stuff like that, but they also influence our emotions, how we respond in the cups, various interactions and belief systems that we end up having in the pentacles. Energy is super important and is sort of like an underlying player in all the actions and interactions we have in our life more than we are actually aware of. So when we step into an energy wave or energy flow, however you want to put it, this is something that isn't always describable other than being like you wake up one day and you're just ready to take on the world. You're not quite sure how to explain it, but you just suddenly took an interest in a hobby you didn't before. It comes with new perspectives, new emotions, things becoming easier. Whatever it is, there is a transition you're needing to step into. And we need to be more of what you want to prevent, but there are I'm happy to say some things you can focus on in order to step into this new energy flow a lot better. So The issue going on that is involved with the energy flow being resistant initially, we're going to change that, is in the Three of Wands in reverse. We have two different scenarios going on here, and it just depends because this is a general reading. For some of you, it is about the general idea that you need to contact someone. There's someone you need to reach out to, and you just can't do it. Let me just ask my spirit guide real quickly. Do they need to, is this a person? Okay, I'm being told it's just a person. Okay, I want to be clear if this is something you need to kind of like send out into the world, it's more abstract. It's a person you're needing to be reaching out to. And this person you're needing to reach out to, for some of you, it's going to be a resistant thing that you're just like, you just don't do it, and you were supposed to do it, and you're not doing it. And you're meant to get into that, you're meant to go reach out to them simply. And then other people, this would be for other people as well who have reached out towards the person that they need to contact, and their response is basically not getting through. So it's sort of unfortunately a lose-lose situation on this. Either you're trying to reach out to them and you're not hearing response during this time period, and it's kind of messing up your energy wave. And for other people, you should be reaching out to them, you're not, and that's also messing up your energy wave. So where is the solution? We understand the cause, what's happening, what's the sort of motivating factors to this. Well, we get our answer over here in the Oracle card Eagle, as well as what's going on over here. So I'm happy to say the Four of Cups in reverse is the confirmation that you will be overcoming this emotional state, which we talked about over here in the Ace of Cups. Very happy for you. But it's also about the confirmation that what's happening over here in the King of Cups is going to be the thing that gets you back on your energy flow, which we want you to evolve to, because you were meant to. You can't stop evolution, and you're going to be a lot better off for it. This is a sort of self-empowering energy flow you're stepping into at this time, which is really beautiful, especially with this being a harvest moon. Harvest moon is all about harvesting and getting what you have benefited from in the summer. Even if your summer wasn't great, there was something there to benefit from in order to kind of have like a great, into fall and winter type of scenario. So this is a good thing. Anyways, so this is not only the confirmation is going to turn out better, but let's talk about the solutions over here. So these essentially say like similar concepts. In the Eagle card, the eagle is able to both see the little tiny details from far away when they're flying, as well as fly at such a high length, the height in the sky, that they're also simultaneously able to see the bigger picture of what's going on. This is about taking a bigger perspective on the situation at hand, especially emotionally, and kind of evaluating your life without losing the little details that are so important, but not also getting consumed by them to the point that you're not able to see the bigger picture. See, with the King of Cups, he is someone who is able to give advice to others. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and give advice to others, but we're just talking about this concept. Because they are able to not be consumed by emotions, and this emotional maturity enables them to not only feel for others or feel for the situation at hand that they are personally experiencing, but not be drowning in the emotions, and instead be able to pull back, evaluate, ask the bigger question of saying, what's bothering you right now, but also how does that affect the long run of whatever you're trying to accomplish, where you're going, is this going to help you in the long hand, stuff like that. So they're both seeing the details and the overviewing concept going on. Now with the Eagle Oracle card, to get even more specific, this would be a good time to ask yourself questions of like, where are you going in life? What are you doing? Big scenarios of why do you want to contact this person? What do you think they're going to fulfill? But then asking the more detailed oriented stuff of being like, well, what's so special about them specifically? And so on and so forth. So you're getting the smaller questions and the bigger questions. I would highly recommend, especially if you're dealing with emotional sort of stuntedness or being controlled by it, in order to get a more objective state in a mindset, you want to approach it with a little more clinicalness. So having something like a journal where you write down these questions and answer them like you sort of are interviewing yourself in this kind of way will help kind of help you detach, so to speak, and then you won't be sort of so consumed and lost in the emotional reaction to these different questions, and then you're able to kind of really see the bigger picture going on, like we talked about. So that's the main thing going on here, is that we want to help you overcome this by taking on this persona. We have the confirmation it's all going to work out well, because we want you to be aware of this new energy wave you're setting on and this positive trajectory you're going to. And this is sort of your clue and indicator of how this energy wave is getting kind of especially stunted. So again, if you feel the need to reach out to this other person, but you're scared, you should probably go do it. You're not going to really get an answer, but it's a good way to kind of like then ask yourself these detailed questions of like, why couldn't I reach out to them? Why do you think they didn't respond? What do I want out of this situation as a whole? Both detailed and bigger questions. And for others who reach out, that's kind of like what you want to do anyways, and you're not getting a response. It's then asking yourself, why couldn't I stay away? Could I have received this sort of attention or connection from someone else or something else? And so on and so forth. You get the general gist. Overall, we do see you overcoming this hurdle no issue and evolving in a really beautiful way. So definitely get excited to easily hop over this little hiccup, better understand yourself, and jump into a new energy waves, equal minds, new emotions, new mindset, everything. It's going to be beautiful, and I'm excited. It's a great way to go into the full moon, or like the period during and after the full moon. So anyways, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know, who's the special person you want to contact? Or rather, what's a great way that you practice stepping back and seeing a situation from a more objective mindset? I'd love to know. Also, consider giving this video a like and a subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. I'm wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for our final group. Group number 4. Group number 4. Let's look at those full moon predictions and energy reading by looking at the cards. We've got our oracle card, the drum. Ooh, immutable moon, so flowy. Oh, I love this. I'm really excited to see what the rest of the cards are saying and doing. We've got Ace of Swords upright, Two of Swords upright, the Fool card in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, okay, I see two different scenarios going on here. Okay, I'm just listening to my spirit guide now. All right. Okay, let's get into this. So over here, this mutable moon, I would say is more talking about this situation over here, but the drum oracle card and the mutable moon oracle card is heavily, like the sort of flowiness we were talking about is associated with both of the readings. So let's get started with what's going on over here by explaining the mutable moon. The mutable moon says that during this sort of full moon time period, something that you would like to come into fruition is far from kind of the finalized product and is in fact quite unstable. But this is okay. The instability or the unstableness of it, I don't know what the word would be here, is a good thing. It's because it implies that there is still room for you to influence it, have it work out more into your benefit. Maybe as it's coming into existence, you don't quite love how it's going, and instead of giving into the fear factor of it's not quite working out the way you want, and you kind of almost, sometimes people want to rip the band-aid and just have it be over and done and concluded. Well, it doesn't seem like that's the time right now, because it's time for you to step in and be like, okay, this is what I want. This is how I'm going to make things happen. What do I really want to happen? And sometimes you can just even influencing it with thinking about what you want. It's like a perspective thing. And just by simply telling the universe, you will make it happen. So it's nothing to be afraid of, but realize an opportunity is being given to you. And it's a good time to either decide, do I want to get out? Do I want to stay in? How can I influence this? So on and so so forth. Now, that sense of unstableness and mutableness continues over here. And if you're not familiar with the word mutable, it means that it's adaptable, it can change, there's a lot of flowing back and forth. So it appears there is a mindset you need to step into and bring in, especially when it comes to a decision making. So the pink, spiritually, pink is actually associated, this is like a Kasha Records thing. Pink is associated with freedom, which I think is very glorious and fun. And it is down here. This is the base of the mindset that it's coming from. You're making decisions from a, you know what, I am free. I'm free to do what I want. There are no limits in my world. And taking on that sort of mindset to help you sort of cut through the gray, foggy clouds of uncertainty, what appears to be the horizon. So consider the horizon, this gray, murky sky. It feels like it's not quite clear. It's unstable, everything we talked about over here. And by you taking on the perspective and the new mindset of being like, you know what? I've got all the options in the world. No one can tell me what to do. I make my own decisions, even if they think they can impart their influence on me or peer pressure. I've got this. I know what I want. I can figure out what I want, and there are always more options even beyond this. So in turn, I am limitless, and just basically you're going in with this like can-do kind of unstoppable mindset with just seeing how much freedom you essentially have. Now, it appears with this influence needing to be applied with what's going on over here, the Two of Swords. So during this full moon time period, there appears to be a decision you need to make. Again, this goes back to the unstable situation we're talking about specifically. This is what my spirit guide says. They said that these two are associated. And it's a decision between two different things. They said the reason why it is unstable is to force you into a sort of mindset where you're like, okay, I've got to sit down, look at what am I going to do? Am I going to choose this path or am I going to choose this path? This option or that? And by sitting down and facing it and taking it very seriously, you are then in turn realizing the same mindset we talked about over here, that you're much more in control than you realize. The lack of stability in the situation as it's kind of fixing itself, reworking itself, is putting you in a position to realize how much more influence you have in your own life and how things work out for you than you were aware of. So this should not be a fear factor thing of like, oh no, I gotta make a decision, what am I gonna do? Take on that empowering attitude, realize the opportunity and the lesson you're learning here, which is that you're much in control and freer than you realize, which is a fantastic lesson to learn. Let's just say this is wonderful. And in the end, I am being told you will make the right decision. Everything's gonna be okay. Now going on over here. This card in the Eight of Pentacles is being influenced over this sort of situation going on here. Are you sure these are two separate situations? Okay, I'm being told there is a little bit of overlap, because I was going to say with the Fool card over here and the way it's interacting with these two cards. So there is a little bit of overlap, but they said that mostly it's two separate situations. So in the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it shows somebody who is kind of becoming so lost in the hyper details and kind of, they're becoming too much of a perfectionist, so to speak. This could be anything from your work and you're having trouble getting to the end of the project, or finding the love you have in the overall concept that you're executing, because you're just so caught up in the little minute details that really don't matter. It's too much attention that you don't need to those nuances. And so what's being advised over here is in the King of Wands in reverse, this is somebody who is, and keep in mind, these are both, this card's being more read as upright influencing this, and the Fool card is actually being read as both upright and reverse for my little fellow, not little, but my fellow other tarot reader lovers, just to express what's going on here story-wise. And the King of Wands is in reverse. This is somebody, or an upright, sorry. This is somebody who is realizing that they can get an idea executed well and be credit and express all their intelligence and their tactileness and be a great leader and accomplish a lot of things through joyous, fun activities. This is somebody who's having a good time, making a game out of the situation, but still accomplishing things with great intelligence and agility. They're not a leader you want to misperceive. That's the big thing. Don't misperceive this possibility that you could encompass and execute to or use to make your ideas come to life. And everything we talked about here, if it is work associated, I am feeling more of a work associated concept going on here. But also what's going on over here in the Fool card, similar sort of joyous activity. With the Fool card, and this is why I believed that the two were associated and I was asking about it. On one hand, the Fool card is showing somebody, I was asking really just out of curiosity, if the decision you were going to make over here was potentially risk oriented. There was some risk that you could potentially make. And when the Fool card's in reverse, it is somebody who is knowingly making a gamble with their well-being. And that's not at all the case. In fact, my spirit guide told me that this is that sort of risk and possibility of risk and fear of risk walking away and leaving you, and you making the right decision, and you're good and everything's okay. But on the other hand, it's also being upright and more moving with the King of Wands into the person who's too detailed oriented and needs to be uplifted. The Fool card is very free-spirited. They are not definitely worried about the details. They might have a moment of really being lost in a sunset in the detail of that, and then quickly look at the overall journey and have fun and bounce from moment to moment. They're very free. But the important thing I want you to take from here is because they know that everything's going to be all right in the end without knowing the in-between. Again, I don't mean to be redundant, the details. Because they know it, everything else in between is a beautiful unfolding journey that they will enjoy. So who cares in the end what happens? They trust that it is working out as it needs to, and because they kind of like have this like faith in themselves and the universe that it's all going to be okay, therefore that's what they bring in their universe, and it does work out great for them. They believe in happy endings, so they get happy endings. So you're basically being advised in this situation around this time period of being like, back off. You're too much in your head. These little tiny things you think are going to make or break whatever you're working on. It's just not the case at all. Learn that if you can make the situation a little more fun, you can still be just as smart and perform what you need to do just as well as you did before, but have a better time doing it. And taking on this more positive perspective will make you enjoy the ideas as they pop out of your head, and then you bring them to life, as we talked about here in the Eight of Pentacles. But if you're so detailed oriented, this doesn't give room for much other creativity or ideas that you can bring to life. And also, it's a great comfort. So if you're like, wait, what if this isn't perfect? What if that? Nope. Remember, everything's going to be okay. And because you believe it, everything's going to be okay. So awesome. I love this. It's a lot of comfort. It's a lot of self-empowerment, and it's a lot of fun, which I'm all about. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're wondering what the drum is about. The drum basically says, guess what, girl? Or boy, everything's working out great. Relax, chill out, just kind of stop clutching, your pearls, relax a little bit. The universe is going to take care of you right now. So the more you get out of its way, the more it can help you, essentially, which what we talked about in the Fool card and the King of Wands. So both very floaty, fun. I'm like dancing over here behind the camera. Very floaty and fun and just a good time. So definitely during the full moon, it's a good combination of, it's interesting. On one hand, there's a lot of like, very focused and like, I'm going to do something and concentration for a moment and make a decision and have a certain perspective. But then it's a lot of, well, I'm going to take a break after that and have a good time and have a party and get things done. So very interesting combination of energies going on here. So please let me know in the description below. How are you going to take a more freeing mindset and perspective? How are you going to go with the flow? And also, what are you currently working on? I would love to know how these details relate to the concept that we're speaking about overall. Please let me know. Please, if you like this video, please also give it a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps out like you would not believe. Or maybe you do. I'm wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.